Hey everybody, welcome to Parenting for a Peaceful Home. My name is Christina Louise. I'm so excited to be here with you today, and I'm really excited to dive into the topic of money with my new friend Amanda here, who is a mompreneur, a mom entrepreneur who wants to teach you how to keep your kids out of your wallet. And once they leave the nest, how to ensure that they have the confidence and the know-how not to come back in. Welcome, Amanda. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, well, thank you, Christina. I am so excited to talk with you today. I think this is going to be great, and I think we're going to really be able to pass some fabulous information that, you know, our fellow moms and dads out there can really grasp and make something out of. So I'm really excited. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So what do you mean when you say help kids stay out of mom's wallet?
I know, right? Well, okay. Think of it more of a scenario. You're in a store, a grocery store, or like a Kmart or a Walmart or somewhere like that. And what do you hear? You look around, you see kids pulling on their mom's pants, right? And going, Mom, I want this, I want this, I want this. And it's like this constant stream of I want. And what I want to do is help you understand ways that you can then change that around so your kid isn't constantly driving you crazy with I want, thinking that you're like this never-ending supply of money and ability, which of course causes us a lot of stress, right? Because we don't want to say no, but we know we must say no. So finding ways to make it work. And so what I mean when I say keep them out of your wallet is giving you tools so that you can actually find ways to get them to get creative and find their own way to make money. So we can talk a little bit about more of that as we go along. I'll give you some better insights.
So are you literally saying that there's ways to help even maybe a 5 or a 6-year-old child learn how to make their own money?
Absolutely. Okay, now we're excited, right?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, I know.
But how do you even get kids excited about making their own money?
Okay, that's actually where I'm so glad you asked me that one, Christina, because that is where I absolutely love to start. Whenever I get together with the parents and the kids, it's like we have to first get our kids excited to want to learn. Otherwise, it's like talking to a brick wall, right? Mm-hmm. And the way that I have found over the years to be the most successful is when we make it personal. And the way we do that is by setting personal goals. And that's actually, I know you're going to talk about the gifts later on. I've got a ton of great gifts that I'm going to give to you guys for free. But one of the reasons I'm giving this one particular gift away, which is about goal setting for families, is because I wanted to help you really know how to help your child set goals so that they actually know how to make them come true and get excited. And when they're excited to want to achieve a goal that requires money, then they're going to be much more open-minded to listen to, okay, well, how do I earn some money? How do I manage that money? Like, how do I get to the goal? If we don't have a goal in mind, then it just becomes boring, right? You think of high school and you think of, oh, great, we have to learn about money. We have to learn about balancing books. It gets, you know, it has this idea of a negative, annoying topic, and it's not. It's like so exciting. So anyway, that's what I meant about that.
Whose high school teaches about money? My high school didn't teach about money. Have things changed? Because I hope they have.
I really hope so too, but no, they haven't. And you have to see it this way. It really isn't their fault necessarily. First of all, in order to teach money skills, you have to be good with money yourself. Right? It's not just a topic you can learn in a college course and then go and teach it. You have to have real world experience. You have to come from knowing how to fail, how to get over that, how to succeed. And, you know, our teachers are fabulous at teaching a lot of foundations, but the schools just don't have the budget. They don't have the availability to teach the proper money skills that our kids really need to learn, which means it's up to us, the parents. And most of us never learned about money. So we're like, help, like, how can we teach something that we don't actually understand ourselves? And that's where entrepreneurs like myself and many of my colleagues around the world, we've been in the trenches. We've learned what works, what doesn't work. We've had the opportunity to learn from our own experiences and then share that. And that's what it's about. It's about helping you really dig in, but also relieving the pressure. Because I know your whole summit, Christina, is about finding ways to parent that are going to relieve the pressure, right? So I'm not about saying, okay, now you're going to have to do this and this and this, because I don't want to make it worse. The concept is to help you set up a couple of tools in place that then make it easier, so that when you're walking in the store, your kid is not, your 4-year-old, 5-year-old is not going, I want, I want, I want. Instead, they're turning to you and going, wow, look at that. That's really cool. I have an idea. I could do this and I could do this and I could earn the money this way. And then you're like, what? This is awesome. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to help you with.
So I think there might be some moms watching who are feeling like, I don't know what I'm doing with money. How am I going to be able to teach my kid anything if I don't know? How would you address that?
Exactly. And that's actually why I give away the tools that we're going to give away today. I want to help. There are a couple of things. I don't know if you want to get into them right now, but we can start going through some of the things just to really give your listeners useful information they can use right away. And we can start with the main one that always comes across, which is the question on allowances. Would you like to start there? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Because here I am teaching kids how to manage their money. But if they don't have any money to manage, how do they do that, right? And so it's a natural question that the parents have, which is, Amanda, okay, this is great, but if they don't have any money, how can they manage it? And so the natural question is then, should I give my kid an allowance? And if so, like how much? And I want to be completely honest. I use my own life experiences as my way of teaching because I found that works the best. And I used to always tell parents, no, don't give an allowance. Help your child to find a way to earn their own money. And to be honest, that is how I parent. I don't give my children an allowance. We find ways that they can earn their own money instead. But I also learned over the years that that's not going to work for everybody because it does require some dedication. It does require some time, effort. And so I've come to realize what my midwife said to me when I had my first child, and I was overwhelmed by all of the crazy advice that I would get from parents and parent-in-laws and friends and doctors, and everybody's was different, and you feel overwhelmed. And my midwife said to me, Amanda, you say thank you. Thank you for your advice. I appreciate that, and I will consider that. And then you go with what works for you. And I can't tell you, but that is the most amazing advice I ever learned. And it made me rethink a lot of things. And here I've been teaching people, no, you can only do it this way. And I thought, okay, that's not going to be helpful. And so what I did is I actually got together 25 of the best kid and money experts that I could find from around the world, the ones that I really respected. And I got their opinions. And I put it all together in a book called, Allowance Secrets, to give or not to give. And I structured it in such a way to really help you find the expert that's going to resonate best with you. If I'm the expert that's going to resonate best with you, then you allow me to help you find ways to teach your kids how to earn their own money. If I'm not the one, then you find one of the other experts in my book. I even have experts who have alternatives to allowances. Like, it really opened my mind. And anyway, that's one of the gifts I'm going to give away for free today. So that'll help for sure. Because when it comes down to it, you have to feel comfortable about what you're doing or you're not going to follow through. And my main purpose is not to worry so much about where the money comes from, but how to be a master of it when it comes in. And that's what I want my focus to be on for you.
And so what do you mean by that? How to be a master of it when it does come in?
A lot of us, as soon as we earn money, it's gone, right? I mean, how often have you heard that idea of, okay, at the end of the money, there's still a lot of months left, right? That happens to so many of us. And wouldn't it be wonderful if at the end of the month, we still had a ton of money left? Like, that is a concept that we would all love to achieve, and most of us never get there. We're like struggling to pay the bills. We're stressing about having to take a second job or whatever it is to just meet the bills, the basics of feeding your family, of paying the electricity, doing your laundry, simple things like that. And so what I teach, it's a money system. And would you like me to go into it for you? My 6 magical piggy banks? All right. I get so excited. You can see that my cheeks get all. I absolutely adore my 6 magical piggy banks. And I call them magical because when your child actually understands how to manage their money into the 6 piggy banks, and they start to see the magic of their money working for them. And that's my ultimate goal, is to help you understand how to make your money work hard for you rather than always having to work really hard for your money. And there's a huge distinction there, but it's such a little twist of, the way we think about it. And so I'm going to go over the 6 piggy banks with you. And they are all equally as important. In case anybody was wondering which one's most important, they work together. So they are equally important. The first one is the grow jar. You have to see it like a tree. You plant the seed and it's going to grow. All right. So the grow jar is the money you set aside to reinvest. And that's the money that actually is going to grow from that seed. So when it comes to like a 5-year-old, that could be the money that they are putting aside to buy supplies for a lemonade stand, right? They could buy their lemonade, their water, their cups, the tables, some signs. That's the money that they're putting aside to invest in their first business. And then the business earns the money. And from that money, they set aside, again, a small portion into the grow jar to grow that business. Maybe they end up hiring a friend and have a second stand. So that's the grow. Now, when it comes to a teenager, that grow money could go toward maybe creating their own YouTube channel. Maybe it's an investment into a camera. Maybe it's an investment in stocks. Whatever your child's interest is, you want to find a way to make money. And that's the grow jar. So that's the investment jar. The next one is one that kids absolutely love doing. Teenagers are kind of like, oh, do I have to? But kids are so wonderful in giving and loving, and it is the give jar. And it is the jar that helps, sorry about that, that helps your child really get that feeling of doing good for others. And that helps them mentally, because I always talk about my healthy wealth mentality. When you can release your money back into the universe, you actually open yourself up mentally, psychologically, soulfully to receive abundance. When you hang on to things because you're afraid to lose them, you're actually sending out a vibe into the universe that is telling, oh no, don't give it to her because she's going to lose everything. She can't hang on to it, So the give jar helps children get that feeling of abundance, of giving out, that it's okay. We don't have to hang on to everything. We're going to take good care of what we have, and a portion we're going to give away. And the side effect of that is that somebody else gets helped. The main goal is actually helping your child learn to be abundant, not to grow up like an Ebenezer Scrooge. So little kids absolutely adore that jar. Teenagers, like I said, when they start, they're like, really, I have to give my money away to somebody else? But once they start doing it and they see how happy it's making people, how much good they're doing in the world, then it's like, yeah, this is a really good thing. It makes them feel proud of themselves. It's about building self-worth. So those are the first two. The next one is the learn jar, and the parents really love that one because it's putting money aside for continued education. And so what I found is most parents assume that that means saving for college, which is great, and it absolutely can be. But I want them to think beyond college. College is just one step of life, right? I want children to always have a desire to learn. As you know, Christina, I used to homeschool my children, and one of the main things I taught them was just this desire to constantly want to improve and better and learn and be excited about life. And the learn jar is for that. If they suddenly have a desire, they want to learn about astronomy, they can have the money there ready to take an astronomy summer camp. If they have that money set aside, they don't have to save up for it. It's slowly over the time, over the years, building up. It can pay for university, it can pay for college, it can pay for continued growth once you're an adult. Maybe you want to move up the ladder in your job and you need to take a course. So that's what the learn jar is for. So those are the 3 first ones, and now we go into the 3 that are a little more fun. This one is called the rain jar. My kids love the idea of thinking, okay, rain, like, is money raining down on me? Like, this is really exciting. But what the rain jar is, this one is actually very personal to me, because the rain jar is the jar that you save and never touch until that day when the universe throws a hurdle your way and your world comes tumbling upside down. And as much as we want to prevent that ever happening from our children, it's probably better if we just prepare them for it. so that when it does happen, they know how to handle it. And if they've been saving money aside to take care of, that car that needs fixing, or to take care of that root canal that needs to come in, or as what happened to me last year when I ended up in a coma for 3 weeks due to respiratory issues that started with pneumonia. Having a little bit of money set aside to help pay for the rent, to help pay for the bills when I was clearly out of commission, that's what the rain jar is for. So it's for saving for the future, for when the rainy day comes your way. And the last two are the ones the kids really love, because it's all about spending, and who doesn't like to spend their money, right? So the first one is the goal. That's the one that we, the parents, like, because it's like, save up for the goal. Let's teach delayed gratification. And that is the whole plan. That's what we want to do. And the way to do it is to combine it with the fun jar. So you've got your goal jar and your fun jar. The fun jar is the money that they get to just spend completely on whatever they want, based on your family morals, of course. But it's up to them. Every month, at the end of the month, whatever's in their fun jar, go out, buy some candy, go to the movie, buy roller skates, whatever it is they want to just spend on immediately. And the reason behind that is that's what can keep your child motivated, right? If they can feel the rewards of their efforts, woohoo, I get to have this lollipop. And it's going to have the side effect that eventually they're going to start cluing into the fact that I don't want to spend that fun money. I want to now save it and use it for something else, which is also totally fine. But it gives them that feeling of, I'm in control of what I get to do with my money. So those are the 6 jars in a nutshell. I go much more into detail into them in my course. And also, I'm going to give away a cartoon that explains it for the kids. So that'll make it a little bit more fun too. But yeah, I hope that made sense for you, Christina.
Yeah, so I've got a grow jar, that's for like a business venture, an investment.
For growing your money, yes.
Growing the money. And then you've got the rain jar, which is kind of like a disaster, an emergency, something unexpected comes up. And then the learn jar, which is for continuing education in all its many forms.
Exactly.
And then the give jar, which is what we use to bless others and to help others, and gives us that feeling of abundance, and the universe blesses us back, so that's cool. And then the gold jar, which is like maybe that toy that we're begging us for, right?
Yes.
It's just like money you could blow. How do you figure out like how much to put in each jar? Is there like percentages or what?
Absolutely. Great question, by the way, because that's another question I always get asked. Now, what it comes down to is you want it to be equal across the board, because you want to give each jar the same amount of value. I just lost my word there. One of the side effects of the ARDS that I had last year is unfortunately memory loss. So please forgive me if I momentarily forget something. It is getting better with healthy food and exercise, but it's a slow process. And so you'll have to remind me again what your question was. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, I remember now, the amounts. So generally speaking, what I recommend, especially for kids and teenagers, because they don't have a lot of expenses, is to do 10% in each jar. And that leaves you with 40%, which takes care of, now in the little kids, I actually just split it 6 across the board, done. But with teenagers, often they'll still have some expenditures that are their daily expenses. Maybe it's part of your family decision that they help pay for school uniforms, or that they pay for gas money if they need to borrow the car. Those are just kind of daily expenses. And that's what you use the remainder for, and then just focus on 10% in each jar. Now, for an adult, I can imagine you thinking, oh my goodness, there's no possible way I could put 60% of my income aside and still survive. And that's when you need to just figure out what's going to work best for you. For you, is it going to be 5% in each jar? Is it going to be 2% in each jar? The point is you want to get started with something equal across the board, and then you'll find it's really exciting as you're doing this, especially as your grow money starts growing, you're able to put more and more into the jars, and it kind of self-perpetuates. It's really exciting. Yeah. And kids are awesome at it. They're like, oh yeah, this is just what I do.
And just to keep mom's minds a little bit open right before we talk about your free gift, which I'm sure is going to go into it in more detail, but could you just throw out like, what are some ideas, what are some ways that kids can make their own money?
Absolutely, yeah, and you're right. I'm going to give away 50 money-making ideas for kids and teens, so that'll definitely help. Now, there are offline ways and there are online ways. In today's world, we have to understand that online is actually a huge opportunity for our kids. So yes, we need to teach them how to be safe online, and then we need to teach them how to make it work for them, right? So that your child isn't just watching YouTube videos all day for their own pleasure, but creating YouTube videos and allowing ads on them and earning money, you know, that kind of thing. Then they can watch the YouTube videos to get great ideas and then translate them into their own versions and create something new. So with the offline, the lemonade stand is always the go-to typical idea. But that could be anything. What it comes down to is finding fun and creative ways where somebody needs a service or a product of some sort and then providing that answer, providing that product, providing that service. So mowing the lawn, right? How many neighbors would love to get their lawn mowed and never have time for it? And your child is now 10, 11, old enough to take care of a lawnmower, be safe, and earn a couple bucks doing so. Babysitting, if they're younger, they could help take care of pets, you know. And then as far as, okay, well, what if you want to go with an allowance, which you can, I still highly recommend that you definitely put a distinction in between regular family chores that are expected to get done, that do not get paid for, and special chores that you will pay them for because you otherwise simply don't have the time to do it yourself and you would actually hire someone else. So an example would be when I was 14, my mom had to start going to work and the housework wasn't getting done. She actually hired in a nanny to come in, kind of keep an eye on us, take care of the house, make sure the dinners were done and stuff like that. And we lived way out in the boonies, and the nanny, as sweet as she was, and she liked us very much, but she hated not having a social life, she left. And my mom was like, oh, do I have to get another one in? And little entrepreneur that I was, I'm like, hey, mommy, I could do this. I could take care of my sister, you know, she's a couple of years younger. I can clean the house. I can make the dinners ready. I can do the laundry. And so instead of paying the nanny, she paid me. So I had my regular chores. I did the dishes. I did the vacuuming. I made my bed. I did all the regular things for free. And all the extra things I got paid for. And another example is, say you need to paint your fence. Something that you would otherwise perhaps do yourself or hire someone else to do, you can now offer that as an opportunity for your child. And you can use that because if your child doesn't take the opportunity right away, hire someone else and let them know that the opportunity does not stick around all the time. They have to grab it, right? So there are lots of little things like that.
Yeah. And I'm so excited about the 7 free gifts that you're giving away. So let's bullet point that real quick so the moms can take advantage of it by clicking the link below this video.
Absolutely. All right. So like I said, we're going to first start with how to get them excited. So the goal setting, it is a workbook. It's going to walk you through exactly how to set their goals, how to make them real. I teach some neuro-linguistic programming, how to make their minds believe that the goals already exist. I teach them how to create vision boards and how to measure their goals so they know which ones to focus on. So they're going to get access to that for free. And so that's goal setting for families. And then the second one is the allowance book. So allowance secrets, to give or not to give, where you get to go through all of the experts, and it's like a workbook. So you get to then, from each one, figure out what makes sense for you, what doesn't make sense for you, and create your own plan of attack. You're going to love it. I also give you my input as well, so if that feels right for you, you can use that. And then, again, you just have to forgive me here for 1 second while I look at my notes because my memory. You guys are awesome. All right, so then we have, oh, actually, Christina, I have one that they get to do first, which is quiz. It's the How Money Savvy Is My Child quiz. And you take the quiz first, then you use the rest of the gifts, and then you go back and use the quiz, because then you can kind of gauge where is my child financially, you know, with their education and mental state, where are they at this moment? And it helps you get an idea of, okay, then I need to do this. And then they get to this moment at the end, and they're like, yeah, I've seen some improvement here. Like, I think that's really exciting. So the quiz is first, then the goal setting, then the allowance secrets. And then after that, they also get 50 money-making ideas for kids and teens, which is really exciting. So they're going to get a ton of ideas for offline and for online, how they can make money. I actually give 57. I like to give more. And then they get the 6 Magical Piggy Banks cartoon, which the little kids love. Now, I have to tell you, Christina, I drew all the images. This is the first illustration I've ever done myself, or first cartoon rather. So you'll have to forgive my drawing skills, those stick figures. But I had so much fun making it move, and I learned so much in the process. The really cool part was I've been using this cartoon in a lot of the workshops I do. Every single time that a child watches the video, at the end when I ask them, okay, so what are the 6 piggy banks and what are they for? They know it. They absolutely know each one. They know why, and it constantly amazes me how incredibly adaptable and versatile kids are in just accepting new information, processing it. The teenagers, they pick it up as well. They laugh at my crazy illustrations, but they do get the message. And so what I also have is a video lesson that I'm going to give away as well, which explains the 6 Magical Piggy Banks in a lot more detail than I explained today, and really helps you understand how to make the benefit of each one really work for you. And then the last gift are 2 pre-made mind movies. Now, a mind movie is a vision board. So I don't know if your members already have an idea of what a vision board is. You probably have tons.
I actually have the Mind Movies program running on the computer right now.
Isn't it awesome?
I love that program.
Yeah, so now just very, very quickly, a vision board is literally like a board, a piece of paper where you put your dreams and quotations and things on it to make it really personal about what your goal is. A mind movie is a moving vision board. So it's a movie of your vision board. And the idea is you want to watch it first thing in the morning. It gets you motivated and on track to achieving your goals. And the last thing at night, because then it gets into your brain, you actually, while you're asleep, you start finding ways of making it happen. And so what I did is I pre-made one for children and one for teenagers that really put in very healthy wealth mentality ideas. Things like, I achieve all of my goals. I do well in school. I make lots of wonderful friends. I am supported by the universe. I am abundance, and I make it fun for the kids. So they're going to enjoy that and hopefully get inspired to then want to create their own vision boards and such. So you get all of those gifts for free. I think I went over all 7. I'll just double check to make sure I didn't miss any, but yes, I believe I did.
Yeah, I love the quiz. I can't wait to see your illustrations. I'm sure
Don't laugh too hard, too.
The images to the message. It's so much easier for the subconscious mind to pick that up. So I would encourage the parents to watch it with the children. That's amazing. I feel really, you're so generous, and thank you so much. And I want to just let the moms know that all you have to do is click the link below this screen and enter in a little information, and then Amanda knows exactly how to deliver those 7 free gifts to you so that you can start using them with your child today. Amanda, it's been so wonderful to have your love and your energy and your support and your beautiful smile and all this wealth and health mindset information in such an easily digestible way. And I also feel that there might be some moms there that might be a little overwhelmed or feeling a little insecure because they might be thinking thoughts like, well, I should have figured this out a long time ago, and maybe it's too late now. And what would you say to a mom who might be feeling just a little skittish at the moment?
We have a saying in our house that there is simply no negative self-talk allowed. Never ever beat yourself up, because the only way we ever truly learn in life is to make mistakes and learn from them. Honestly, that is so much more effective than going to school even. So if you feel overwhelmed and you think, I can't possibly do this, know that you're not alone, first of all. But what makes you stand out from the crowd is that you're willing to look at alternative ways. And that's a huge step. And now the next step is to go forward and start learning this stuff and, let others help you. And I would love to be somebody who helps. So I hope that helps.
It did. It touched my heart. And I appreciated what you said about how it's even, making mistakes is how we learn. Just like when we're teaching our children how to walk.
Yes.
We know they're going to fall down, or when we teach them how to ride a bike, we know they're going to fall down, but we would never talk to them the way that we talk to ourselves,
no.
or the way that we allow the world to talk to us. So thank you for encouraging all these moms and me and you too, right?
Always.
We have so much compassion with ourselves, and to forgive the negative mind chatter and to just keep moving forward, knowing that we're not only doing the best that we can, but that it's enough.
Well, exactly. And honestly, it gets so much easier because you start noticing when you do the negative self-talk. And once you start noticing it, then you can start changing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
well,
you guys can do it.
Everybody grab Amanda's 7 free gifts. All you have to do is click the link once and you get all 7 delivered to your inbox. Right, Amanda?
Absolutely. Yep.
And I'll just thank you for showing up for yourself and for your children and for joining us today. I love you all. You're doing great. And I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Bye. Bye, Amanda.
Bye. Thank you.